So this was a week where we learned, and we haven't covered this on the show yet, just how to the degree to which the Israeli military is relying on AI systems to find supposed targets and then kill them, um, but not in such a precise way. And that is, in fact, by design. This is from the 972 magazine and from an Israeli journalist who had this incredible 8,000 word article. His name is Yuval Abraham. And I want to show you a little bit of how he explains two programs. One is Lavender and one is Where's Daddy? And I'll dig into a little bit more from his article, but here we go.
AI-based system to create human targets, to mark them. So what it did, it at its peak, according to sources who have used it managed to mark 37,000 Palestinians in Gaza as suspected low-level Hamas or jihad militants. Now, the way
which is really interesting, 37,000, and there probably are about that many dead. I'm sure they were all militants. Here he explains.
It works is, for people who don't know, like the machine scanned most of the population in Gaza, surveilling information, and it gave each individual a rating between 1 to 100 based on how likely the machine thought that individual belonged to a military wing. It has a list of indicative features, which are really small signs that could be like somebody is in a WhatsApp group with a militant, or somebody that replaces phones all the time, that raise or lower your rating. Now, sources,
or somebody is in a kafia. I mean, you just put this in like terms of, imagine if, Zionist propagandists, if the ADL were to put an AI mark on all of us, it'd be like, posted something about Palestine, must be a militant. Anyway.
This is said, and this is very, very important, that this machine, when they were using it, the IDF knew that in approximately 10% of the cases, it was making what was regarded as errors. So it was marking people who were complete civilians or had a very loose connection to Hamas. It is an automatic system that looks for these targets when they enter their family houses. So it scans thousands of people that were marked by Lavender, by the AI machine, and it alerts the intelligence officers the moment they enter their house. And the Israeli military, according to numerous sources, carried out a policy of bombing these people using unguided missiles when they were in the most civilian spaces, when they were inside family houses.
Okay.
Collapsing the house on itself and killing, often, according to sources, the predetermined limit was up to 20 Palestinian civilians at the beginning of the war per AI-marked junior suspected Hamas operative.
Okay, so I want to get into more detail about what he just said, but basically there was an alert. So not only does it scan and randomly put suspected militants, thanks to this AI program, and his reporting is based on a bunch of sources in the IDF, a bunch of soldiers who were like, we didn't even question it. This is just what we went with. The computer told us, and that's where we bombed. And when he said this program, Lavender, helped identify like sort of all of Gaza, and then Where's Daddy was this program that actually identified when these so-called militants arrived home. They systematically, this is according to his reporting, attacked the target when they were in their homes, usually at night while their whole families were present, rather than during the course of military activity. According to the sources, this was because, from what they regarded as an intelligence standpoint, it was easier to locate the individuals in their private houses. Additional automated systems, including the Where's Daddy system, revealed that for the first time were used specifically to track the targeted individuals and carry out bombings when they had entered their family's residence. And on that, the dumb bombs, Deanne, we'll be talking about the smart bombs and dumb bombs. We're a week out from seeing the World Central Kitchen, convoy bombed so deliberately and that is a targeted missile strike.
Oh, those 3 strikes didn't seem accidental to you, Fran?
Yeah, strange.
Those
wild.
3 precise strikes?
Yeah, no, oops, these things happen in war. So this is very different. This is these massive I don't know if the dumb bombs are 2,000 pound or not, but these massive bombs that are used to basically level an entire building. And those dumb bombs were used in these instances where there were civilians present. So again, we could take this step by step. That idea that Hamas militants are using civilians as human shields is the complete inverse, just like pretty much everything the IDF says. What is actually happening is they are using civilians, not even as shields, just as collateral in order to get to the militants. And it is even more egregious and heinous than all that, because of the, we've always been wondering, like, what's the calculation? Like, how many Israelis have to be killed? How many Palestinians have to be killed to satiate this quest for revenge from Israel? And they kind of have a calculation when it comes to militants versus so-called militants versus civilians. When it comes to this program and this reporting, they decided in the first 2 weeks of war that for every junior Hamas operative that Lavender marked, it was permissible to kill up to 15 or 20 civilians. In the past, the military did not authorize collateral damage during assassination of low-ranking militants. Sure. The sources added that in the event the target was a senior Hamas official, again, alleged, with a rank of battalion or brigadier commander, the army on several occasions authorized the killing of more than 100 civilians in the assassination of a single commander. So just open war crimes. But Deanne, your reaction to just how stark and deliberate the murder of families is and has been.
I mean, every day it's a new atrocity. Every day it feels like a new level of depravity. And the fact that this is what they're telling us, it's like, holy fuck. I've been rewatching The Sopranos, and I'm like slightly struck by the fact that, like, the mafia doesn't kill your family unless they're really trying to retaliate for something. Right? It's like, it's just wild to me. Nice. And I need a moment for the fact that Where's Daddy sounds like a kinky dating app, and like Lavender sounds like the event that they would put on. Like,
they probably are like, you look, even our AI is an ally, with the LGBTQ plus community. Like, let's. God. I mean,
I don't put anything past the pink washing that Israel and its friends try to do. Yeah,
I mean, it's truly like, being queer yourself. And also being, I know, against this genocide and having spoken out about it, like the bad faith way that they weaponize, like, the LGBTQ plus community or even their supposed allyship is so disgusting. Yeah. It's like I think the grossest bad faith, like laying a trans flag or like a rainbow flag over like what was once a Palestinian home.
No, absolutely disgusting. And I don't fight with Zionists online, but they love to unleash their worst fantasies about what happens to gay people and trans people and what they want to happen. They love to tell you what Hamas would do to you for being gay or trans or whatever. 100%. But we're away from the AI right now, which is I don't know. It's just a nightmare. This is my reaction.
It's a nightmare. I mean, to me, it is the fact that this comes from not just an Israeli journalist, but sources inside the military, those who had to carry this out. It is so sickening. It completely dismantles any remaining shred of, but the Israeli army is the most moral army and they take care and aims to minimize civilian deaths. No, they're maximizing it. They're okay with hundreds of civilians dying so long as one Hamas operative is killed. And that, I think, for me, has been what's so upsetting about some of the liberal Zionists that still hold out for, like, well, the IDF really tries and it's just those damn Hamas are so good at hiding in their families. It's like, no.
Yeah.
You need to fully embrace that this ideology, this settler colonial genocidal ideology, is all about killing as many people as possible, starving as many people as possible, making sure none can return to their homes. And right now there is, and I'm not going to get ahead of it, but there are ongoing talks in Cairo, Iran, which has been attacked by Israel. is now wagering and wondering whether they should counter strike. But they're telling the United States, we won't if you organize an effing ceasefire. We've seen the biggest shift in public opinion in the last week. But this, you know, and I think thanks to obviously the not tragic, the heinous killing of those members of this World Central Kitchen, but this fucking AI machine, killing machine, is so terrifying, not just on that Hezbollah level, but really for me, what that means for the future of warfare. Like, do you think that the makers of this machine are going to be like, oh, oops, it didn't work the way we intended? I mean, first of all, it did, but well, we're never going to employ AI in warfare ever again. No, they are. And this is what we see, what we're staring down in Gaza is what I think a lot of folks are staring down for future ethnic cleansings.
Mm-hmm.
It's just heinous and terrifying, and like, yeah, there's precision murder of civilians. That is the point. That is by design. We've always known this, but I think this program proves it. And to even the IDF, who's like, I don't know, I didn't want to bomb this entire, you know, apartment building. You got to wonder, obviously, it's on them as well, but to not pull the trigger. But anyway. Let's move on. Yes.
Well, just before we do, you talked about liberal Zionists, and I have to say that I am not speaking to any anymore, but I did find a few in my friend circles back in October. And at this point, it's like, I'm not even disturbed by your politics. I'm like, I'm disturbed by how fucking stupid you are that you can't see this stuff and put it together, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's the question is, are they seeing this stuff? You know, I think there's so much good reporting out there, but if it has the die been cast. We're going to talk to Arun in a little bit about the stories that were spread. Is the die cast for these folks who've decided it's okay to kill millions and millions of people, so long as the state of Israel can continue its colonial project? Like, are they even listening or watching? Are they even paying attention? Like, you'd want to assume, if I was really in to like the ethnic cleansing, like, look, it's a tragic ethnic cleansing, but it's got to happen. I would be scouring, all kinds of news sites to support my, for lack of a better term, genocidal political stance. Because I'd really want to convince people that I was right, because it's a horrible stance to take. So I'd be like, you know what? You know what I mean? If I'm going to be open with this, or if I'm even in private, if I'm going to say it, I would want to support it. But I don't think they are. And that is, I think, part and parcel, like how Israel would like it. Like, that's by design.
Yeah. I forget about that. I forget that not everybody has the same information, but
yeah. Or wants to defend their shitty views. They'd rather not think about it. You know, it's fine. Like, that's much easier for them. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.